Welcome back to Iggy's Toy Parade and Soldier Review. This is your host, Iggy. And today we're going to be talking about a Czech made and designed tank that was introduced into the German army for trials in 1939. And the Wehrmacht found that this tank was superior to the Panzer I and Panzer II. And so they adopted it, and they had 96 tanks at that time, and they created two panzer divisions, of which were employed during the invasion of France. Rommel's Ghost Division was equipped with the 38T tank. The 38T tank was a riveted design, which means that it was, jeez, something always goes wrong. There we go. I got it out of the way. There we are. Um, let's see. What was I saying? I was riveted. So, as you can see in this illustration, now the difficulty with this tank was that because the armor was riveted and not cast in a single piece, um, when it got hit by a round, the rivets would fly around the inside of the turret and was extremely dangerous to the crew. Now, it carried 90 rounds. It weighed 11.6 tons, had a road speed of 26 miles per hour. That's just not bad. And I think a cross-country speed of 20, had a crew of 4. Had a 37 millimeter or 1.5 inch main gun, and it had an MG34 mounted in the turret, I believe. Let me see if I can see it here. Can you guys see? Yeah, it's mounted in the turret. And they also used them briefly in Russia, but the Russian tanks outclassed this because this is sort of a 1930s design. The Italian tanks were like this, and also the Japanese Chiha 30, what was it, 30? No, 95 and 97. Um, a KV-1 would have destroyed this easily. So why is this tank especially important to Iggy? Well, one reason is that this tank was the very last one that I was able to buy in a store. It was released in 2008, and I purchased it at Walmart, not knowing that Ultimate Soldier was going out of business and we would never see these again. So I thought I was going to be able to buy more, but this is the only one that I was able to get at the time. And it's kind of a sad thing. It's like the end of an era. All the G.I. Joes and Ultimate Soldier figures, all of it disappeared practically overnight. Anyway, I was able to get this, so I'm very fortunate and glad to have this vehicle. This vehicle served the Germans very well at the start of the war, and also at the end of the war in a different function. They converted the chassis to these tanks to a Hetzer and Martyr. So they were very successful as assault guns and tank destroyers. But like I said, it was the end of an era, and all these things vanished from the toy aisle. Well, I'm starting to get sad, guys. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed looking at this, and learning a little bit more about the 38T. And by the way, Skoda discontinued construction of these, and their factory was taken over by a German company, and they were called Bomisch. What is it? Bomisch Maharisha Maschinenfabrik. Of course, German is suffering here at the Iggy household. Anyway, I'll show you another illustration of it here. That's pretty good. And here it is in action in 1940. You can see by the tank commander that the tank was rather small, being only 11, little over 11 and a half tons. The tank I served on was 50 tons, and it was a medium tank. So these tanks weren't very large. At any rate, they did their job, and even had a second life, as I said, with the Martyr and Hetzer designs. Okay, guys, that's it for me, Iggy. I want to thank you for coming along. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment. And before I go, I'm going to give you a close-up of the vehicle so you can see some of the details here. Ultimate Soldier did a nice job with their vehicles. I was told by my friend Heath, who worked for Ultimate Soldier, that they would build a model of what they were interested, and they would send it to China, and China would construct the molds and produce them just based on that model that they built. I should have asked what model they used. Like, was it Tamiya or Revell, or I don't know who else makes models anymore. I stopped making them years ago because I don't see very well. But here is the right side of the vehicle. I'm going to spin it around, see if I can get you a frontal view. There we go. It's a frontal view of the tank. Can we get more light in there? No? Yes? A little more. All right, let's move it again. And here's the left side of the tank. And the light is not very good, guys. Let's see if we can brighten that up for you. There you go. Panzer38T. All right, it's time for me to hit the dusty trail. I'll meet you guys all back at the ranch, okay? So in the meantime, guten Abend alles meine Kameraden, and adios amigos. And you guys have a good evening. Stay safe and take care of each other. Good night.